Hi, everybody. It's Dan McTeague, President Canadians for Affordable Energy. But I want to talk to you a little bit, not so much about the work that we're doing at CAE, but the work that we're doing in terms of anticipating where energy prices are going to go. The price of gas in Ontario, as is the same for Quebec, which is 12 cents more expensive, as is the Maritimes, 11 cents more expensive, Manitoba, which is about roughly in the vicinity of about 20 cents a litre cheaper, mostly because the provincial government got rid of the provincial tax for a period of time. Saskatchewan in the same $1.52 range, Alberta $1.50 range, British Columbia Interior $1.70, and of course Lower Mainland in the $1.88 range. I'm giving you this to all of you because I want you to understand whatever you're paying today, as we go closer to summer, we're going to see those prices rise, at least an average of about 10 cents a litre. And the reasons for that are multifold. One, we believe that the markets around the world have completely ignored fundamentals. Global oil supplies are tightening. They're not suddenly going to be flooded with OPEC saying they might slow down on their production cuts. And quite to the contrary, in order to balance the market, they're going to be required probably to provide more fuel, because if they don't, the price of oil could go up $10, $15, $20 a barrel. We've had it good now, but don't let these kind of prices give you a bit of a head fake, especially when you think these are the same prices we were paying at this time last year, here in the first weeks of June. Much of that, considering that we're now paying 4 to 5 cents a litre more because of the carbon taxes, and in the eastern Canadian provinces, the second carbon tax, which is running between 4 and 6 cents a litre, the clean fuel standard. We'll see that here in Ontario, but not before we see a lot more ethanol in gasoline. The purpose for all of this is to tell you that the summer is going to be one where you're going to see a lot of volatility. And while it's quiet to the downside, it's going to be anything but to the upside as other factors begin to affect not only the price of fuel, but also the reasons behind it. So these lower prices, relatively speaking, especially in the United States, are going to lead to higher demand. We also have to look at meteorological factors. Last year, everybody's complaining about wildfires and all sorts of meteorological events. One thing that didn't happen, that I'm sure disappointed them, is that we didn't have many hurricanes in the U.S. Gulf Coast that affected supplies. Normally we have that. Every second or third year, some pretty big ones, and that could be very impactful in terms of prices. But we also have to look at the overall totality of the price of fuel in the United States, which is still very strong. The economy is very robust, and unlike Canada's labor market, which is showing signs of weakness and certainly a slowing down of momentum, Americans are indeed taking to the roads. What that means is that refiners are going to have to continue producing gasoline at 95% utilization rates, which is pretty high, in order to keep up. Sooner or later, some of those refineries break down, and when they do, that drops average utilization rates down. What that means, book another 10 cents a litre for gasoline. Now, having said all that, one thing that could help. The Canadian government got off the throat of energy producers in this country, stopped blocking pipelines, stopped imposing ridiculous regulations that no other nation with the third largest provable reserves would do. You'd save 28 cents a litre on the value of the Canadian dollar. It would increase versus the U.S. greenback. Get rid of the carbon taxes. That's another 20 cents a litre. Between those two, these prices would be $1.10 a litre, not $1.60, going to $1.80. I'm Dan McTeague, Canadians for Affordable Energy, Gas Price Wizard. Let's talk soon.